Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what you're about to hear is a parliamentary clash you won't forget. Trust me, this is one of those moments that defines why politics is never dull in Britain. Now, let's set the scene. The chamber was alive with tension, and then came Richard Tice, the Reform MP, rising to his feet. His voice cut through the room like a blade. He didn't waste time with niceties. He went straight for the Prime Minister. His charge? That Keir Starmer had humiliated the entire nation. How? By personally deciding to appoint Lord Mandelson as Britain's ambassador to the United States. Yes, you heard me right. Mandelson, the very same man who once described himself as the best pal of a convicted paedophile. Tice reminded the House and the country that Mandelson had even given advice to this man while he was in prison, urging him to treat jail time as an opportunity. You could almost feel the air being sucked out of the room, shocked faces, murmurs, and no doubt a lot of people at home wondering how on earth did this happen. But Tice wasn't finished. He revealed that the Prime Minister had all the facts in his hands before making this call. A 2-page document landed on his desk outlining Mandelson's connections. And yet Starmer pressed ahead with the appointment. Tice called it woefully incompetent judgment. And you know what? You can see why those words hit hard. And then came the part that left jaws on the floor. Starmer, a lawyer by training, the man who prides himself on forensic thinking, didn't even ask about a cache of emails linking Mandelson to this disgraced figure. Think about that. A barrister trained to scrutinize every detail, choosing not to ask the most obvious question. Tice tore into him further, pointing out the contradiction at the heart of the government's defense. Starmer told Parliament that full due process had been followed. But the truth, according to Tice, was that the checks were only carried out after the appointment had already been made public. It's like bolting the stable door after the horse has bolted. Except this horse happens to be carrying the reputation of the entire nation. And so Tice delivered his final blow. He said, with clear regret but firm conviction, that the Prime Minister had misled not just the House of Commons, but the British people themselves. A stinging accusation, one that leaves Starmer with some very uncomfortable questions. Now, here's where I turn to you. What do you make of this? Do you think Richard Tice was right to call the Prime Minister's judgment incompetent? Or do you believe Starmer's decision was justified despite the controversy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to see what you think. And if you've stuck with me this far, you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a moment like this. Because here at UK Now, we're bringing you the stories that matter, unfiltered and straight to the point. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep watching.